Welcome back, folks. Tonester back with another in-depth on Type 64 this time. We are, what's the map here? On Corellia, and we're just kind of in the middle here. And you notice that right away that our team is not really pushing anywhere, right? We do have some guys in the middle. We also have a couple of guys going to the hill. But there's a T-34-3, and I know he's got bad gun depression, so I'd be surprised if he does well there. We'll just have to see, especially they've got a 1357, a Type 64, an EBR, and that T-37. So we're just playing slow, and until we get guys on the other side where this T-28 prototype is, I can do nothing. And I'm just going to sit here and kind of spot middle. So I move back a little bit. And the reason that I do this, it looks like my guys in the middle are kind of leaving. I want to make sure if anybody comes up here that we're there to spot them. Now, the T-34-3 has kind of cleared this out a little bit, and we do have an Emil 1, and it looks like they didn't send a lot over to this side either, which is fairly unusual. But we're just providing vision, and we've got vision all the way through this field here. So that's what we're doing at the moment, and it's going to be a pretty slow game for a while just because we're playing extremely safe. There's a lot of big guns on the enemy team, and we have 580 health, you know, and we're penable by anything and everything. So we're just moving back and forth, trying to spot stuff, and we spy this Lorraine 40T. So I want to get closer to him just so I keep him spotted if he decides to poke back out. And I'm not super familiar with this area, so let's get it back in first person mode here. And so we're just sitting here and making sure that if he does poke, that we are lighting him. We're not going to shoot at him, but we're going to keep him lit. So at this point, I see that our T-28 is pushing forward, as is our Type 64. So I know I've got vision kind of all the way along the map, except for on the K line, which is fine, because we've got an Emil over there kind of holding that down. So I haven't seen that Lorraine for a while, so I feel like it's okay to shoot, and we just want to get this guy out of position, right? So we're able to hit him, and that's our first damage of the game, and we're 3 minutes in. So it shows you the patience that you need to have when you're playing a bottom tier light tank. You don't want to rush in, you don't want to do anything silly. And I know this Lorraine is in my view range, but chances of him spotting me through all those bushes and stuff are next to none. Plus, I can just run away if I have to. But as these guys push up, this VK is pushed up. We've got a Challenger still in the middle. My guess is he's falling back. I want to light these guys as they shoot that are up on this shelf here. So that's why I'm moving forward, but I'm moving forward very cautiously, right? And I'm using bush lines and rocks, so I'm pushing from bush to bush and behind rocks where I possibly can, because I want to make sure that I don't get spotted. So we do make a small mistake there and we come out of the bush just a little bit, but look at this SU-100Y. He is caught completely out, has no idea who's spotting him, and that picks us up a quick 700 spotting damage. So our guys are continuing to push along the one line, which is good, because the further they push up, the further I can push up. And I notice that this VK is spotted and that he's taking damage. So we're going to move up a little bit more even here soon. So you see how I'm pushing. I start going backwards, and then I pick up that S1, and I think I better keep him spotted if I possibly can. So there's another, I don't know, 1,000 spotting damage just from that. And We're just going to stay up here and keep these guys lit. Anybody that pops up is going to get lit. So the Lorraine gets spotted. I don't think I'm the one that spots him, but we're going to push up into the bush. But we're pushing up into the bush with a bush between him and us. And just the fact that we've spotted 2 tanks and gotten them killed, that puts us at a major advantage. So I see that the KV-2 and the ISM are on the other side, and I assume Artie's on this side as well. But in the meantime, we're able to spot this 1357, and we stop and aim because we want to make sure that hits, because he is a very dangerous tank to us. Sure enough, we spot the Artie. We're able to hit him twice, and we get a couple of a little bit of spotting damage on him as well. So KV-2 is a really dangerous target, but if he's moving, he's not near as dangerous, and we are pretty much hull down here. So we're not giving him good shots, and we're able to take him out with our superior gun handling. So that's just about the end of the game. There's a little bit more here. And this is kind of having guts to move forward sometimes and create a crossfire on somebody. You notice that the ISM just fired, so we're going to just push past him. And that's a dangerous thing because I just ran in front of a gun. But nevertheless, we're able to get behind him and get some shots into him. And in addition to that, we've got a SU-122-44 behind us that is able to put shots into this guy. So we're up to 900 damage, and I have really no shot, even with gold rounds. So I'm just going to back off and kite him and allow my team to take him out. So as he pushes up this hill, we got guys behind him, and he is indeed taken out. That was a win regardless of the fact, because we were capping. But it just goes to show you that if you play slow and you play to your team, you know, originally our team was all stuck in base. And so I could move up to maybe here, and I can spot stuff that's on the hill, because if they're in base and we had lost the hill, that would have been a perfect setup for me, because I could have sat here and spotted these guys on the hill. But in reality, we won the hill, and as our guys moved up, I kind of moved up along with them, and I made sure to spot up in here so that they could take out anybody that was sniping them, which worked out really well for us. And then it's just cleanup time on this side of the map. And you kind of saw how that played out. So it's about knowing where your team is. I've seen so many light tanks say, well, you guys didn't even shoot at them. Well, they weren't in a position to shoot at them, so why go spot somewhere? It's okay to spot somewhere and to sit there and passive scout and give your team info, but don't expect shots where there's nobody to shoot at anything. So it's a common mistake for light tanks to think they've got support when they don't, and they're just not reading the map. So I knew I didn't have support, so I didn't push up. Once I had support, I pushed up, and were able to help win the game. Let's go take a quick look at the after-action report on this. Okay, here we are at the after-action report. We got an first class on that. No other significant medals, but we ended up with 1,012 base XP, which is a little bit above the next guy. Wow, 3,500 damage and a 122-44. That's really nice. And the Emil. And so really it didn't look like we did a lot, but when you're bottom tier and you're spotting for your team and doing a little bit of damage, you can really rack up the XP on that. And as we've talked about before, I had a premium account at this time, and we ended up with 40,000 credits. It would have been 20,000 even with without premium. So we hit 16 shots, actually hit 12, and pinned 9. So for 951 damage and 2,300 spotting, which is a total of 3,300. which is not too bad in a bottom tier light tank on that map. So appreciate you guys watching. If you've got replays you want to send in, please do. I'd like to see some ace tankers. And also, if you've got some replays you'd like me to review, I'd be happy to do that for you. We'll catch you guys next time. Don't forget to subscribe for more tanks.